bug's world is no place to let down your guard. At every step, there are stealthy assassins.
Big mandibles, good vision, and they jump.
Merciless superheroes and prize fighters poised to take you down.
We thought only vampires drank blood.
In the treacherous world of monster bugs, you stay vigilant or vanish. In some monster bug battles, individuals take the honors. In others, the spoils of war are shared. But when superheroes go head-to-head, it's only their superpowers that matter. When a green-bellied huntsman tackles a colony of jumping jack ants, it's a clash of the titans. If an army is only as strong as its weakest soldier, then a squad of jumping jack ants is a force to be reckoned with. Small in size, big on attitude. They're tough and powerful from head to tail.
Even though these are small ants, they are really fierce ants. They've got a strong, potent sting that really packs a punch.
Barely 1/3 of an inch long, jumping jack ants fight well above their weight and deliver a mean punch from both ends. At the front, large serrated mandibles that bite, grip, and slash.
These mandibles can pack a nasty bite, but this is nothing compared to the sting that they have at the back end that is capable of injecting a truly nasty venom that can incapacitate or kill prey very quickly.
With a stinger on the end of its extraordinarily agile tail, the jumping jack can deliver toxic proteins in repeated stings. Powerful enough to induce fatal allergic reactions in humans, the venom is usually reserved for smaller prey, like cockroaches, march flies, and grasshoppers.
You would think that these ants are going out and capturing prey for themselves. That isn't so. Actually, these jumping jack ants live on nectar, a little bit of sugar water. Primarily, they're bringing back the prey to feed the developing ant larvae that need meat in order to grow.
The larvae are hidden away in nests built with soil. Nests are often constructed under rocks or tree roots. Away from the nest, a jumping jack ant forages alone. Its never-ending job is to bring home the bacon, no matter how cumbersome. It's a pit bull and pack horse rolled into one.
These jumping jack ants are really strong ants. They can be grabbing prey, holding onto them with their mandibles, and at the same time, even as the prey is fighting them, they can keep moving them gradually toward their colony.
The jumping jack ant has one more astonishing skill. Like a super action hero, it leaps tall branches in a single bound. But it's not the only bug in this forest with superhero status. The green-bellied huntsman is an arch-villain, not afraid to show its true colors.
If you look at this spider's belly or the joints of its legs, you'll see that it's a beautiful blue-green color. That's because they have a very different form of blood than humans, and they use this blood to pump up their legs, and if the blood pressure drops, the legs will go limp, just like a hose would when you turn the faucet off.
With their hydraulically assisted takeoff, green bellies are super fast, all-terrain hunters with the will to kill. This huntsman also keeps a low profile. Camouflaged 1 minute, prowling the next. A stealthy loner in search of other speedy spiders. This unsuspecting wolf spider is taken down before it knew what hit it. The green belly's vicious fangs rip into its body, mashing it up.
The green-bellied huntsman's fangs are large and powerful, so once they've been driven into a prey, there are no second chances.
For an accomplished hunter, a large, solitary foe is an easy target. But what happens when the green flash encounters a warring gang of jumping jack ants?
It's facing a bunch of pesky little ants. There's not much to bite onto, and even if it kills one or several, there's more coming.
On the forest floor, a low-slung superhero is about to face a team of brutal base jumpers.
Big mandibles, good vision, and they jump. And they're able to jump relatively long distances. The thing is even though these are small ants, they are really fierce ants.
This is jumping jack territory. An underground nest and a patch of forest where they forage for food to feed their larvae. The green-bellied huntsman is hungry too, and it's waiting for a kill. But it's been spotted by a lone jumping jack ant. It launches at the interloper. The green flash grabs it and sinks in its fangs. But the jumping jack gets in a well-timed sting. Toxic proteins, 4 times more potent than bee venom, target cells in critical organs, partially paralyzing the huntsman. Worse still, the alarm has been sounded back at the colony. More ants rush in. The spider manages to crush one in its jaws, but has been stung again.
Jumping jack ants are really quite aggressive, and they're not going to back off just because a single ant has been killed. This is ant behavior. Once they start attacking, they keep going.
The ants work as a team, creating a diversion up front, while one stings the disabled spider from the rear. Even more powerful venom floods into the green belly's body. As toxins begin destroying the spider's internal organs, the once pumped up and powerful legs dangle uselessly. Still, the jumping jacks attack. Mandibles slash the spider. A blister of green blood swells from a gash in the abdomen. Still attacking with their razor-sharp mandibles, the jumping jack ants lap up the green belly's lifeblood.
And we thought only vampires drank blood. The ants are lapping up the spider's blood without a second thought. This is a very undignified way to go out.
Like a team of undertakers, the jumping jack ants began removing the body. The victory feast will be held back at the colony.
The advantage of being a social insect is that many animals can help carry this spider back to the colony.
In a bug battle, there's no such thing as an invincible superhero. Make one slip and you're dead meat. Some bug fights are one-sided. But in others, it's might versus might. As two evenly matched prize fighters slug it out, there can be only one. When a green praying mantis encounters a ferocious predatory katydid, the judge's verdict is final. The green praying mantis is a heavyweight fighter who's perfected the art of taking its opponents by surprise.
The mantis is like the biological equivalent of a stealth fighter plane. The color of the body, the flat triangular shape, everything about it has evolved to make this animal extremely difficult to spot.
When those huge compound eyes, with their 300-degree field of vision, lock onto a target, the mantis will attack, even foes like this dangerous lynx spider.
The green praying mantis is quite confident to take on creatures other bugs will do anything to avoid.
The lynx spider spits lethal toxins made by venom glands in its head.
Both these animals are well aware of each other's presence, and they're both very, very fast.
The lynx spider makes a break, but it's caught and impaled on razor-sharp spikes. As a fighter, the mantis relies not on venom, but savagely sharp body parts. Inside each one of its front two raptorial legs is a vertical row of lethal curved spines.
These legs are like a cross between a mace and a grappling hook. They grab, snag, pierce, and pin the prey down all at the same time.
Barely pausing, the mantis eats through the lynx spider's legs, then its body, then its venomous head.
Eating the lynx spider venom glands won't have any ill effect on the mantis. If the venom was injected, that would be different, but for the glands to pass through the digestive system, no problems at all.
Its meal over, the mantis cleans itself of battle debris, spider silk, and scraps of its victim. Its highly sensitive antennae come in for special attention. Long, slender, and segmented, these sensors are multi-purpose tools. They're used for sounding out a mate, for communicating, but most importantly, when it comes to putting food on the table, for sizing up your enemy.
The antennae provide critical information when the mantis is right up close to a potential prey item. It's both smelling and feeling it, but when they fold them back across the side of their head, that's a sure sign that they're about to attack.
As a prize fighter, the green praying mantis appears invincible. Though in nature, That's never a given. There's another prize-fighting heavyweight in this forest. The ferocious predatory katydid. And it's evenly matched with the mantis in almost every way.
It looks like a leaf. It looks like this innocent leaf-like structure, but it is an incredibly dangerous predator.
Just as the green mantis blends in with the grass, the katydid, with its veined wings, hides among leaves. It goes to extraordinary lengths to remain undetected by aerial predators and leaf-bound prey. Its back and the top of its head are camouflaged, with markings that look like a damaged leaf. And like the mantis, the katydid comes equipped with sharp grappling spikes, not just on two legs, but on the front four. And up at the head, everything, including the mouth parts, are supersized.
These katydids have massive heads to provide plenty of space for these large mandibles and the muscles that control the mandibles.
Those mandibles are like Swiss Army knives. They lever and cut and fork in victims' body parts. The back legs are just as powerful. When they kick in, launch time becomes lunchtime.
It locks it up in its very strong, spiny arms, and then its mandibles just tear into it.
In a pre-fight weigh-in, the katydid is just as big as the mantis, just as strong, and is equally fast. Two heavyweights, evenly matched. And when they throw down, it will be a championship fight to the death. It's a monster bug matchup even the experts can't predict. The ferocious predatory katydid and the green praying mantis share a talent for fading into the foliage. Both have large heads and huge appetites. In the raptorial leg department, the katydid has the edge.
The katydid has 4 legs covered with spines that it can grasp with. The praying mantis essentially only has 2.
The katydid can also jump and fly. But the mantis has a longer reach and a killer punch. In a grassy arena, the two prize fighters enter the ring. Round 1. In the green corner, the katydid sizes up its opponent with its long-range feelers. In the other green corner, the mantis has its guard up, ready to strike. The mantis throws a lightning-fast right jab. The katydid ducks for cover.
You have to give the mantis points for bravery. He's just so fearless, but I think he may have bitten off more than he can chew here.
Round 2. The mantis comes out swinging. The katydid finds its range with its antennae. The katydid locks the mantis in a raptorial cage and delivers a killer bite to the mantis's eye. It's a cut no corner can repair.
Already, it's damaged the head, it's damaged the antenna, it's damaged multiple parts of the body.
There will be no round 3. In an even matchup, sheer ferocity tips the scales.
Just goes to show that no matter how capable a fighter any particular animal may be, there's always something else out there that can tip the world upside down.
Step into the ring with a ferocious predatory katydid, and there's no such thing as a knockout. The loser never gets up. Some bug wars are won with brute strength. Others are subtle affairs, where skill and cunning make a killer all the more lethal. When a spiny tree cricket and a golden orb weaver share the same forest, sometimes the sharing stops and hostilities start. Bristling with razor-sharp spikes, plated with impenetrable armor, the spiny tree cricket has all the appearance of a bare-knuckle brawler. Looks can deceive.
These huge spikes all over its body, it looks like this fully armored battle machine. But guess what? The only thing it attacks are leaves, fruit, and bark.
But if ever it finds itself in a fight, the spiny tree cricket is a formidable opponent. The armored exoskeleton is seriously tough, and its spines are numerous and inflict nasty wounds.
In any fight, the spiny tree cricket has just one intention, and that's to get away. It doesn't kill on purpose, but it can kill with those big back legs.
The spikes serve another purpose. They make the spiny tree cricket hard to spot in the foliage.
The spiny tree cricket is a master of deception. All this bumpy, spiky armor gives the cricket a very irregular appearance, so even if a predator is climbing up the tree right towards it, it may not even notice the cricket.
One rainforest creature is a master concealer. Another is quite the opposite. With its gilded head and garish bright stripes to warn off predators, the golden orb weaver is no shrinking violet. And its web is as striking and as deadly as any.
The golden orb weavers didn't get their name for nothing. Their webs truly have this beautiful gold sheen, especially in the light.
A cocktail of chemical compounds inside the orb weaver creates a silk that reflects gold in the sun's visible light spectrum. The color has a dual purpose. It blends in with the forest and attracts aerial prey for the insatiable orb weaver.
Golden orb weavers are primarily eating butterflies, katydids. The silk is so strong and the spiders are so big that they're able to successfully capture small birds.
There are other creatures in the orb weaver's web. Not victims, but distant relatives. Other spiders, kleptoparasites, that live off the orb weaver's leftovers.
In the city that is a golden orb weaver's web, the kleptoparasites serve as small-scale garbage collectors, essentially. They're cleaning up the web.
The golden silk is 6 times stronger than steel and 10 times more effective than Kevlar at dissipating energy. That means when something flies into this silk, the web stays in one piece and the victim stays trapped. But never underestimate a spiny tree cricket. Its spiky legs can rip an orb weaver's soft body parts to shreds.
The spiny tree cricket may be able to deliver devastating kicks with its back legs, but if they're tangled up in something as strong and sticky as a golden orb weaver's web, this could render it completely helpless.
High in the forest, a golden web weaver is about to do battle with a master concealer who could deliver a death blow with one superpowered kick.
It might not hunt other animals, but this cricket's no puny weakling. First off, it can grow up to 3 inches in length, and its back legs are long and really powerful. So it's not going to just lay down in front of a predator and say, "Eat me."
From its forest vantage point, the spiny tree cricket flourishes its super long antennae, searching for a tasty snack. It launches itself, but into an orb weaver's web. The sticky net absorbs the cricket's energy. At the same time, it glues her feet to the silk. The orb weaver rushes down. It begins spinning a silken shroud. Multiple threads stream from her spinnerets.
Depending on how strong the prey is, she'll start to wrap it up. She's essentially mummifying the prey.
The spiny cricket lashes out with its legs. Until those legs are bound, the orb weaver is in mortal danger. A well-placed kick or a razor-sharp spine slashing her soft abdomen could be fatal.
Golden orb weaver is a solid boot from one of those spiny back legs. This could easily penetrate the exoskeleton and do some serious damage. If it hits it in an unprotected area, this could be fatal.
The cricket is still alive and kicking, but to no avail. The spider sinks in her fangs. Strong venom, golden bonds. There's no escape and no future. The tree cricket is done for. The golden orb weaver begins her meal. But tonight, the queen of this golden kingdom doesn't eat alone. One of her minions moves in to help. The spiny tree cricket is, after all, a very large meal. And when you're so good at killing, you can afford to be generous with your neighbors.
So there you go. Tough legs and a tough look don't stand a chance against the world's toughest spider silk.
In a bug war, some battles are like cage fights. It's muscle on muscle, no holds barred, and no referee to stop the fight. The desert scorpion and the desert centipede are a menace to many creatures. especially each other. If you want to survive in a hostile habitat, you'd better be made of tough stuff. And they don't come tougher than the desert scorpion and its superb fighting weaponry.
Two main things that scorpions have that are unique to scorpions. First, they have a stinger at the base of their tail that has quite a potent venom. In addition, their palps have been modified into pinchers.
Scorpions come in two packages: small pincers and a big stinger, or, like the desert scorpion, a smaller stinger and monstrous fighting claws. Like top cage fighters, they save themselves for the main event. A desert scorpion doesn't waste an ounce of energy.
Scorpions have a very, very low metabolic rate. It's been compared to the metabolic rate of a radish seed, and it's just incredibly low. With this low metabolism, they don't need to eat that often. So they may only capture prey on the order of once a year.
But when they do, they're serious eaters. Those huge extended pincers grab their prey in a vice-like grip. But they're not the only claws. Modified mouthparts mash up the fresh meat and shovel it in. Not all opponents are quite so obliging. Tonight, the desert scorpion encounters an equally brutal fighter: the desert centipede.
If you're a bug, there's a few creatures you do not want to mess with. This is one of the most effective killers of the entire arthropod world.
One of the speediest on the bug world fight card. The desert centipede's 42 feet are fast and deadly.
Every one of the centipede's feet is tipped with a very sharp spike, and this allows them to traverse any kind of terrain: soil, rocks, tree trunks, or even grass. At top flight, only 3 or 4 legs are supporting the entire body, so they're like a venomous hovercraft.
At the front end are 2 vicious venom claws that inject toxins that ravage its victim's major organs. So like its scorpion opponent, the centipede too can finish off a fight with a lethal injection weapon.
But they can also use it to rip the prey apart, so they're sort of a biological Swiss Army knife.
And post-kill, every piece of weaponry is restored to fighting condition.
So afterwards, it gently and carefully cleans its venom claws in every single leg. This is like a hitman lovingly cleaning the blood splatter off his gun so that everything's ready for the next hit.
The desert centipede is also a clever fighter, a master of illusion.
The rear end of the centipede looks very similar to the front end of the centipede. So when it's stationary, another animal can't tell where's the head or what direction it's going to move in. It's a very clever bit of natural deception.
Until the centipede moves, its prey never knows if it's coming or going, or which end of this predator will deal it a death blow. Tonight, the desert scorpion faces a nightmare opponent.
Scorpions are really good predators, but they're not that mobile in the vast scheme of things. Compare this to the freight train of a centipede. These guys are really zippy, they're strong, and unless they're a whole lot smaller than that scorpion, I think the centipede has to win.
On the rocky desert floor, two menacing night fighters are about to go head-to-head. Size, speed, and tactics will matter. And both have the fight skills to finish each other off. The desert centipede sizes up the scorpion with its antennae. The desert centipede tries a direct hit. But there's no avoiding those pincers. The centipede storms in again, a frontal attack. The scorpion tries to land a sting shot. The centipede attacks again. The scorpion tries to run, but the centipede has it by the tail.
There aren't too many creatures that would be game to grab a scorpion by the tail, but the centipede is strong enough to pull this off.
The centipede bites the scorpion's tail.
What the centipede has done here is shut down the scorpion's main weapon. Now that the tail is completely immobilized, the stinger is useless.
With the stinger out of action, all the scorpion has are its claws. It snaps at the centipede.
Desert centipedes are pretty handy in wrapping up their prey. They'll use their entire body and all their legs to hold the prey perfectly in place while it delivers its venom.
The centipede climbs over its victim's back and sinks in its venom claws. It's a knockout and submission hold all in one. But in this cage fight, there's no tapping out.
The scorpion is never going to win this fight by trying to out-wrestle a 42-leg brute. Now that the centipede has its venom in, it's all over.
When these two night fighters step into the cage, there's no prize money. But you do get to eat your opponent. A bug's life is mostly a short one. Just months, weeks, or days. And that's if they make it to old age. When a dreaded earwig and a bee-killer assassin bug go bump in the night, one life will not run its natural course. The earwig is like the garbage man of the bug world. Small and brown, it's like a cross between an ant and a cockroach. With the dexterity of a high-wire performer, it relentlessly scours the rainforest for a meal. Any meal.
Earwigs are omnivores, and what this means is that they'll eat essentially anything that they can encounter. They'll eat small insects if they get the chance, they'll eat garbage, they'll eat plant material, they'll eat fruit, they'll eat anything that they can get that's edible.
But what makes it really stand out from the grazing crowd are these. Forceps-like pincers called cerci that can inflict nasty wounds.
those pinchers are really used in defense. So if they're threatened, they rear their tail up and the cerci up. It looks like a scorpion's tail.
The pincers have even earned the earwig a fearsome reputation among humans.
Part of the reason why everyone knows earwigs is because of the myth that earwigs with these nasty cerci must be dangerous, and that in fact they go into human ears and try to bore into a human brain. You gotta be kidding. There's no way that an earwig would want to go into a small space in a warm human ear.
But to other bugs, those pincers are formidable weapons. That's not all. Up front, the earwig comes with well-developed mandibles that can do serious damage.
Even though the earwig's mandibles are relatively small, they're still able to effectively crunch through another insect's exoskeleton.
Nearby is another rainforest feeder. Less mythical, but equally bizarre. The bee-killer assassin bug. Looks like a beetle crossed with a bird.
This is one of the biggest species of assassin bugs, and it's a mean-looking beast. This vulture-like head, big beady eyes, and this weapon sticking right out the middle of them. Assassin bugs are from the order Hemiptera, some 75,000 species, which all share a common element of stabbing into a plant or an insect with the proboscis and sucking out the juices. With the bee-killer assassin bug, however, it feeds just on other insects. Now, with a name like bee-killer, it's not too hard to work out what its favorite prey is. And this is why you usually find them hunting around flowers and such, but they're not too fussy. If something else besides a bee comes along, they'll make a meal out of it.
The assassin bug's killing fields are rainforest flowers. To dispatch its prey, the assassin has a fearsome weapon. A long, needle-sharp rostrum that sucks up the liquefied flesh of its victim. The assassin bug completely and fatally lives up to its name.
Once they've spotted a prey, the assassin bugs will often just freeze into position, and then the prey just becomes oblivious to their presence, and they'll creep very, very slowly up to it. And then when they strike, it's like a statue coming to life.
That rostrum doesn't just stab. Like a hypodermic syringe, it delivers paralyzing saliva that disables its victim's muscles and nerves.
The cockroach isn't dead at this point, but it's completely paralyzed. This allows the assassin bug to be able to flip it around into any position it wants while feeding and stick the proboscis anywhere it wants.
The rostrum now becomes a straw as the assassin bug sits back and slurps up a cockroach milkshake in its floral cafe. But will the killing fields be quite so cozy when a seriously armed earwig comes by? In the floral reaches of the rainforest, where lives can be short and bizarre creatures ply their deadly trade, the fully armed earwig has ventured into assassin bug territory. The earwig is busy collecting nectar. The assassin bug has already staked out a killing site.
As this earwig is out foraging, By definition, she's going to run into other animals that might be potential predators. The way she avoids being eaten herself is by threatening the other animals with her tail up.
The earwig looks threatening, but the assassin bug is threatening. If it can get close enough, it'll stick that proboscis in, and then it's game over.
Wary of that dangerous tail, the assassin bug chooses its attack position carefully. The earwig is preoccupied.
Its best chance is to notice the assassin bug and move on as fast as it can. However, it looks like the earwig isn't paying attention.
The assassin bug attacks, but misses. In the confusion, the earwig gets away. This time, the assassin bug makes no mistake. With one quick stab, the assassin bug's rostrum pierces the earwig's back. Venom floods in. The earwig's deadly pincers are useless.
Assassin bugs have a nasty venom that has essentially paralyzed the earwig.
The earwig can't do anything with its pincers right now. It is completely incapable of fighting back. It might as well be inside of a straitjacket.
The assassin bug has its piercing mouth parts in the earwig and is sucking up the innards of the earwig. It's done.
The earwig's insides are dissolved and drained. The garbage man becomes garbage on the forest floor for others to finish off. One more creature that never makes it to a ripe old age. In the world of monster bugs, you lower your guard at your peril. Killers come out of nowhere. Unseen traps ensnare at every turn. And you can be ambushed in your lunch hour. In a bug war, take your eye off the ball, and it's the last thing you do. In the world of monster bugs, life is cheap. Ruthless killers roam the underworld. There's no mercy and no half measures.
You're like an entire team of wrestlers with one animal.
When bugs go to war,
They're incredibly effective predators.
it's kill or be killed. Beneath a verdant rainforest canopy, there's a hidden world, a bug's world. In truth, it's more like a collection of warlike nations, each ready to defend its territory against any invader. What happens when a deadly tree scorpion invades a green ant kingdom? It's a call to arms, to defend the empire. This plant is about to become green ant territory. In less than a day, they will swarm over its leaves and bend them to their will. It's empire building by an incredible society that thinks as one.
Colonies are interesting things. This is where hundreds of individuals behave like a single organism.
They may think as one, but they're divided into specialist teams. There are workers, porters, guards, and beneath this swarm of servants, a queen.
In an ant colony, the queen is by far the most valuable thing. She sits there day in, day out, pumping out hundreds of eggs.
Construction on the Queen's castle is underway. It's an ambitious undertaking, but every green ant is a born engineer with equipment to match. Up front, its mandibles are like a hydraulic press, lined with razor teeth. On a human scale, they could lift a 7-ton truck. In the ants' world, they can slice off a limb or hold up a roof.
Imagine us being able to lift something hundreds of times our body weight using just our mouth.
With their jaws and legs, ants become heavy machinery, pulling massive leaves into a cocoon. For adhesive, they use silk spun from larvae, carried around like living bags of glue. But this Army Corps of Engineers isn't just building a new kingdom, they're defending it. For other bugs, it's become a no-go zone. Any breach is met with overwhelming force.
The strength of green ants is in numbers. While some of them will pin the prey down, others will come by and bite it over and over and over again until it's defeated.
Like a crack commando unit, a squad immobilizes the beetle, while others start slicing it up. Green ants can capture and butcher a beast in just minutes. But some creatures can be too hot to handle. Like this killer, descended from the first bugs to crawl on land 300 million years ago. The tree scorpion. It's a wily opponent, built for a quick kill. It has size and sting on its side.
It captures prey by stinging it with this venom, grabbing it with the pincers, and then tearing it apart and eating it.
The tree scorpion stalks the lower rainforest canopy. There's nowhere it's scared to go. It fears no one.
Scorpions are hunters. Scorpions will basically take whatever they're able to successfully capture. Insects, other scorpions, they'll attack a wide range of different animals. Insects, spiders, but also one of the things that's most notable about scorpions is that scorpions are major predators on other scorpions. In fact, scorpions may be the most important predator on other scorpions.
Its confidence and lethal advantage come from super-sensitive hairs on its legs and body. The slightest movement registers, even the flap of a fly's wing. And leading it straight to the kill zone are sensors beneath its body called pectines.
These pectines, think of them as combs, are extremely sensitive to substrate vibration. So as they're walking along, these combs are responding to vibrations from the ground. As they walk, these touch the ground. In addition, the pectines are probably at least somewhat sensitive to chemical and odor cues and are picking up information from the environment. They don't have particularly good vision. They almost certainly are responding to light and dark, but they're clearly not locating prey visually.
This cricket came too close. It landed on a branch. The vibrations and the cricket's telltale chemical compounds alerted the scorpion. And in no time, the cricket became the main menu item on its predator's outdoor dinner table. The tree scorpion has bizarre table manners. Its mouth has claws. This creature knows how to look after itself in the rainforest. But how will it fare in a border dispute? Nearby, the ant empire is expanding overnight. The tree scorpion's territory is under threat. And any dispute will quickly turn into all-out war.
When a green ant colony attacks a much larger animal, anything that can be bitten will be bitten.
When green ants invade your territory, they don't negotiate. They simply arrive in their thousands and start building an empire. There's no diplomacy, no discussion. They owe allegiance only to their queen.
Green ants are extremely territorial. They will protect their queen at all costs.
The tree scorpion shows no such respect for the queen, nor her faithful subjects. It's been spotted by a lone scout. It's David versus Goliath. But no one's told the green ant. No matter how futile the attack, it's programmed to lock on to its foe. The scout is easily dispatched, but it has sent out a chemical distress signal. It's like sounding an air raid siren inside the colony.
The defensive strategy of the green ants is built all around teamwork, sending out chemical messages that'll bring in lots of ants. You'll have hundreds of them pouring into that one area.
The colony mobilizes for war. Soldiers head out to meet the invader. The tree scorpion tries to beat a retreat, but it's surrounded.
This is where the real fight begins. Once the green ants start operating as a team, their effectiveness takes an exponential leap. It's a case of 1 + 1 = 3.
Ant numbers swell quickly. Each attaches itself, trying to outmaneuver the giant intruder. Sensing an advantage, the ants deploy their weapon of mass destruction, a cloud of formic acid. Sprayed from each ant's abdomen, the cloud is like pouring molten lava on the scorpion's wounds. It lashes out, and its victims are piling up. Medic ants deal with the wounded. But more soldiers swarm in to replace the dead and dying. The onslaught overcomes the scorpion's last defenses.
The ants are able to hold on to different parts of the scorpion, so it isn't able to sting. There's a limit to how many it's able to grab with its pinchers.
The scorpion is pinned, helpless. The ants then set about dismembering their victim, chewing through its joints. They start carrying away the ultimate trophy of war, the scorpion's stinger. There's nothing their victim can do. Once it loses its sting, its fight is over. Many ants have made the ultimate sacrifice. That's how the colony works. One individual dies, an empire is defended. Long live the Queen. Many bugs lurk in the Shadowlands, hidden places where evil deeds are done in secret. But with so many bugs in the world, they'll never be left alone for long. What happens when a white-tailed spider meets the shadow world's cellar spider? Someone will disturb the peace. Meet the cellar spider. Its thin, pole-like limbs make it look somewhat fragile, even weak. But nothing's further from the truth.
The cellar spiders are actually pretty good at killing other spiders. They don't necessarily specialize on killing other spiders, but they're really good at it when they get the chance.
Cellar spiders prefer to operate under cover of darkness, and they're not picky about where.
You can find cellar spiders everywhere. Corners of houses, protected areas, near trees. They build these kind of rough webs relatively high.
From their hidden vantage points, they pick off passing prey. Small or large, it makes no difference. And those spindly legs, with their multiple sections, have the clearance of a monster truck and are as nimble as high-speed knitting needles.
Their legs are long and lean and effective for keeping everything at arm's length.
They can immobilize rivals from a safe distance by wrapping them in silk before moving in for the kill. Their fangs are tiny, but pack mean venom. But before they can use their fangs, they have to catch their prey. In the shadows, this cellar spider installs more sticky silk. It won't rely on an intricate web, just the basics. Enough to ambush the unwary. Elsewhere on the rocky outcrop, another spider prepares for action. Compared to the cellar spider, she's a bruiser. The white-tailed spider.
The white-tailed spider is a wandering assassin. This deadly stalker lurks in the shadows.
The white-tail is a master spider killer. She's 3 times the weight of the cellar spider. In Spiderland, she's a super heavyweight fighter. Even a night-stalking commando like the wolf spider can be overpowered in an instant.
The white-tailed spider's main weapon is surprise. It rushes out of the shadows to deliver a fatal bite.
The whitetail pumps digestive juices through her victims, then sucks them dry. Few spiders walk away from the whitetail. Would a delicate cellar spider take on a super heavyweight? You'd be surprised.
I don't think the whitetail has a chance.
These are the shadowlands of the bug world, hidden places where dirty deeds are done under cover of darkness. This white-tailed spider is looking for an easy kill. She's checking out a rock ledge. That happens to be a cellar spider's home. And the delicate homeowner will defend its territory to the death. No matter how huge the invader. The cellar spider starts a war dance.
One of the things that cellar spiders do to avoid being attacked by predators is they swirl on their legs. Another thing that they might do is pump up and down. And they disappear because they're moving so fast they become invisible.
The whitetail isn't so easily fooled. She holds her ground. Conflict is inevitable.
For the white-tailed spider, it's all about getting the first bite in.
But the cellar spider moves first. It flicks the whitetail onto its web. The whitetail tries to regain its footing. But the cellar spider goes into silk spinning overdrive. From a safe distance, its legs lasso the whitetail 6 times every second. But the whitetail is strong. She keeps breaking free. Cellar spider's silk isn't the strongest, nor stickiest in the spider world, but there's a lot of it. And every throw counts. Hundreds of silk ropes entangle the whitetail. In a desperate last effort, she tries to slash her way to freedom with her huge fangs.
The white-tailed spider will use its fangs to cut through the silk. If it can get out, it'll run for its life.
But the cellar spider counters, hoisting her victim higher. It's spinning too much silk, and the whitetail's jaws may not be enough. Thousands of silk ropes finally immobilize the whitetail. Enough for the cellar spider to move in for the kill. It delivers its deadly payload and leaves the venom to do its work. A delicate spinner outguns a big brute. And the Shadowlands are quiet once more. But they won't be for long. Many bugs are forced to adapt their lifestyle to suit their environment. But some are just plain ornery. They modify their environment to suit their own needs. The result is a monster minefield. What happens when a trap-jaw ant falls in with a ravenous ant lion? The earth will open up. For some creatures, a sandy environment is a problem to be avoided. But for one strange bug, it's the perfect place to set a trap.
They're relatively small animals with huge sickle-shaped jaws, and they're really, really good predators.
The antlion loves the sand. Better still, it loves moving sand. It's king of terraforming. Just a quarter-inch long, it can transform landscapes overnight. The antlion is often called a doodle bug. It's actually the larval form of a flying insect called a lacewing. But before it heads for the skies, it's stuck on the ground with a lot of earth moving to do. Burrowing in backwards, the antlion creates a pit by flicking up sand from a central hole.
What they're doing is they're gradually digging a cone-shaped pit. Not without reason have they been referred to as devils in the dust. They walk in circles backwards. As they walk in this circle, they're throwing dirt out of the pit that they're digging with their heads. So they're walking backwards, the dirt gets onto their back, and then they flip it out over the back of their head.
The walls grow taller until they become a one-way slide of death. Approaching prey might be lucky enough to spot the deadly hole ahead. What they won't see is the antlion, hidden underneath a thin layer of sand below.
The antlion burrows itself at the very bottom of this pit with only its jaws out.
The antlion is a masterpiece of devious engineering. Victims simply stumble in and never leave. Not far from the antlion sand trap, another predator is on the hunt. A street fighter with a spring-loaded weapon. A trap-jaw ant.
Trapjaws have lean bodies with muscular shapes, huge heads, huge eyes, and these massive mandibles that snap shut like a bear trap.
Its spring-loaded jaws lock open at 180 degrees, like a crossbow. Then, on contact, they slam shut.
These jaws are the speeding bullet of the natural world. They are literally the fastest moving body part of any animal. They snap shut at 145 miles an hour.
And there's more. A venom-packed sting on its abdomen.
Trapjaws will use their sting or their mandibles first, depending on which type of prey they're trying to capture.
A trap-jaw isn't intimidated by size either. When it's out on the prowl, it'll take on anything. Even a spider bigger than itself.
When the trapjaw's mandibles snap shut, they give off a sound so loud it can actually stun the ant's prey.
And those jaws aren't just for slicing prey into bite-sized pieces. They lock on when a victim has to be dragged back to the colony. They're like a spring-loaded vice. Super strong and super fast.
Trapjaw's greatest hope for escape is to snap its jaws shut while pushing them against the ground, which would propel it up into the air.
But does having the world's fastest jaws guarantee survival? And is a sand trap a certain killer?
I think the antlion takes down the ant.
This bizarre pattern of pits in the sand is the work of the humble antlion. But there's nothing haphazard here. Each hole is perfectly designed to bury passing prey alive. Today, some trapjaw ants are on the hunt. They can slam shut their jaws faster than any other creature on Earth, but they still need to watch where they walk. There are death traps everywhere. Antlion pits, part sinkhole, and part quicksand. They bury bugs alive.
As the ant walks in to the edge of the pit, it's just so steep that they can't maintain their balance at the edge.
When the ant tries to escape, the antlion showers sand from below.
The antlion flips soil up and helps cause a small avalanche that helps carry the ant into the center of the pit.
The ant runs for its life. It's a lucky escape. But the antlion won't have to wait long for another victim. It launches its attack. The trapjaw can't even see its foe. Under the sand, the antlion has locked on, pulling its victim down. Those huge trap jaws are useless. And from below, the antlion has already begun sucking its victim's insides out. The trapjaw disappears without trace. Sometimes, in a bug's world, the best weapon you can use is the environment itself. And if your weapon can double as a grave, so much the better. In a bug's life, there's little room for social graces. Manners aren't required. And social skills, well, that's left pretty much to the ant crowd. But there comes a time when even the meanest bug needs to accommodate a neighbor. For a short while. What happens when a brown house spider and a redback spider live too close for comfort? The neighborhood will never be the same. This log has become a sort of bug housing estate. Residents come and go. Visitors drop by, get eaten. Suburban life goes on.
Sometimes you'll have several animals sitting in very close proximity to each other, where it's a bit of a standoff. I can kill you, you can kill me, who's gonna make the first move?
This redback is tolerating a neighboring brown house spider. They're actually biological cousins, but keep to themselves, even though it's hard to tell whose web is whose.
And they'd be aware of each other by vibrations in the web. And so they'd be threatening one another with vibratory threats so that the other spider would know that they were there. But If one of the spiders didn't back off, definitely a situation where conflict might occur.
The redback has snared a beetle, 10 times her own weight. The superpowered silk is extruded from spinnerets mounted on the redback's posterior. Her web is one of the stickiest and strongest in the spider business. If it was scaled up to the thickness of climbing rope, it could snare a jumbo jet in flight. Next door, a brown house spider has her hands full. She's landed a supersized meal with a dangerous kick. Like the redback, she combines a sticky web with fast wrapping.
It sets up trap lines in its lair. Once detected, it'll drop down and attack with a barrage of silk.
Her fangs are small and deliver powerful venom. But this time, she may have bitten off more than she can chew. Another neighbor, a fellow brown house, thinks the grasshopper is in her web. It's a neighborhood dispute that's about to turn ugly.
You've got spiders, they're eating the same prey and are competing for food in a relatively small space. And at some point, these animals are going to come in conflict.
Neither brown house has any intention of backing down. The neighbor moves first and starts a wrapping frenzy. Not only has she lost her meal, the original brown house is now losing her life as she's bound and gagged at her own dinner party. A deadly bite seals the deal.
One brown house spider has just killed another one, even though they're the same animal. But this is not unusual in nature. Fratricide or cannibalism is quite common. Just because you're related doesn't mean you're not dinner.
But the neighborhood dispute is about to escalate as the redback from next door joins the fray.
Given that they're close to one another, this face-off is going to end in the death of one of these spiders. But which one? That's up to chance.
Inside a crowded log, two brown house spiders went to war over dinner. Now, one's a meal herself. But hostilities aren't over yet. A neighbor from across the street, a redback, has decided to join in. She has a web nearby, and she's just breached an invisible wall. The brown house has a new problem.
Pretty much, this is a totally even matchup. Both have the same equipment. You know, they both have silk at their disposal. They both have venom at their disposal. They both have sticky webs. It really is who happens to get the edge, who happens to wrap up the other one faster.
The neighborhood fight is about to get even nastier. On the world's stickiest tightrope. Each spider tries to stay clear of the other's spinning legs. The first to start their rap of death wins. They're so evenly matched, the tiniest false move will spell disaster. The redback puts 1 foot wrong. She's stuck. Seizing her chance, the brown house spins furiously, wrapping her opponent's legs.
The brown house spider's most deadly weapon is its silk. It has these long, combed legs that it can use to throw it forward like a deadly crochet.
With all her strength, the redback can't break free. She's cocooned alive.
The brown house spider's fangs are very small, so it'll only bite once the prey is firmly secured with the silk.
The brown house has already had her appetizer. The redback makes a tasty entree. Now, the neighborhood bruiser sits back and waits for dessert to come by. Beneath the scorching desert sun, few creatures brave the outdoors. Until the rain comes. Then the desert comes alive with creepy crawlies. What happens when a desert centipede emerges to find a desert trapdoor spider? There will be bloodshed. Most of the time, this trapdoor spider remains in the underworld. But some rain brings it into the open for a long-awaited drink.
It's actually an amazing thing to see because so many animals have been waiting for the rain that you can literally watch animals come running out. And the trapdoor does the same thing, both to drink some extra water, but also just to make sure that her lines extending from the burrow are still in good shape. Trapdoors are home buddies. They're not going to go very far because they're relatively vulnerable away from their burrow.
It's a rare outing, and something she's not too comfortable with. Without the advantage of her deep burrow, she's vulnerable to predators.
Even though the trapdoor spider is a relatively large spider and a terrifically efficient predator, they're not all that aggressive spiders. Many of the trapdoors stay underground. They're not partying spiders that get out and wander around a whole lot, but basically they're living fairly reclusive lives.
It's reclusive because the desert trapdoor is an ambush specialist with 2 giant fangs that can pierce the toughest exoskeleton.
Trapdoor spiders have quite large parallel fangs that strike down. It rears the front end of its body up and then strikes.
The trapdoor invests a lot of effort in building its home, so it's going to stay there for most of its life.
Desert trapdoor spiders are good hunters. The spider is sitting with its legs touching the different lines coming in and is essentially monitoring the situation around its burrow.
Any passing insect is fair game. Gripped in an 8-legged vice, this cockroach stands no chance. Its body is ripped open, and the bug is turned into lunch. The trapdoor is a formidable killer. But tonight, the rains bring out another. An entire street gang rolled into one. The desert centipede.
Desert centipede is the baddest of the bad. He's aggressive, fast, big, mean. He wanders the desert like a serial killer, looking for more victims to add to his list.
With 42 legs and a body some 5 inches long, this desert centipede is the type other bugs cross the street for. This cricket has just made a fatal error. Out for water, it's left itself exposed. The desert centipede's super-sensitive antennae have locked on. The cricket is dead meat. If there were maximum security prisons for bad bugs, this guy would be locked up for life. He's just a natural-born killer. Rain has brought life back to this small patch of desert. It also brings death. As creatures emerge from their burrows to drink and hunt. After the rain is rush hour in Bug World. Everyone's out and about. And the most fearsome hunter of all is this desert centipede. With the power of a steam train and the bloodlust of a serial killer, they don't come more dangerous. Each foot is capped with a sharp spike that pins enemies in a death grip. Up front, 2 huge claws rip flesh and inject venom simultaneously.
This guy's big weapon is his extremely potent venom, which he delivers with these unique modified legs that are claws dedicated to delivering venom.
And there's rarely time to escape.
Desert centipedes are pretty handy at pinning down their prey. They're like an entire team of wrestlers in one animal. They wrap around, hold it immobile, and then deliver their venom with a single bite.
This desert thug also has incredible senses. Two huge antennae pick up chemical scent trails.
They have this extraordinary ability to follow a chemical trail ruthlessly, persistently. Once they find it, then they attack.
Brute strength, vice grip, smashing claws, deadly venom. It's unstoppable. Or is it? Will the desert trapdoor spider withstand an all-out assault? It's showdown time. For this desert trapdoor spider, a brief outing to find water lights a chemical fuse, burning all the way to a big bang. Like a heat-seeking missile, the centipede locks on. The trapdoor remains in its preferred ambush position.
If the centipede needs to dig a prey out, it'll use its venom claws as pickaxe to hoe in on its prey.
The centipede dives headfirst into the burrow. Venom venom claws smash into the spider's body. The centipede pulls its victim out of the burrow so it can't escape. The potent venom has taken its toll. Using his claws like steak knives, the desert centipede never eats slowly.
The centipede leaves behind this mashed pulp. Very characteristic. A forensic team came by and looked at this crime scene. By this form of evidence, they would know, without a doubt, a centipede killed here.
Soon, the sun will be out again, and a serial killer returns to the underworld. In a bug war, there's always an element of surprise. Mass attack can overwhelm superior weaponry. Fast moves can foil brute force. Smart thinking can overcome sophisticated armaments. And a home advantage may be no help at all. In the world of monster bugs, a quick death is the best you can hope for. Monster bugs is a war zone. There are no truces, no ceasefires. Only the fittest survive.
They literally run down their prey.
And only the ruthless
It can tear apart pretty much anything.
live to eat another day. In the monster bug world, there's nothing more unsettling than silence. Knowing that something unheard and unseen is patiently awaiting its chance to kill you. What happens when an ogre-faced spider sets a trap for an assassin bug? It's the skill of one forest ninja versus the stealth of another. In mythology, the ogre is a terrifying monster. Cruel, brutal, and hideous. But in the bug world, this monster is no myth.
Ogre-faced spiders are about as neat as spiders come. Their middle posterior eyes, so their posterior median eyes, are huge.
Most spiders have 8 eyes, but poor vision. The ogre-faced spider has military-grade optics that turn night into day.
They're outstanding at collecting light at night so that they see very, very well in darkness. Their vision at night is far better than cats and better than owls.
That's extremely bad news for passing prey. But even more astonishing is the ogreface's weaponry.
What these spiders do that is absolutely unique in the animal kingdom is they build a very, very specialized web.
Hanging from a threadbare silk scaffold, the ogre-faced spider starts weaving a weapon. An expandable net that traps the unsuspecting in the blink of an eye. It flings it over its prey like a gladiator, casting a deadly net.
When they actually attack something, they're going down just incredibly fast and then releasing the web, and it contracts. It is fascinating to watch.
The ultrafine net is created with the skill of an expert weaver.
They make it in their back legs. As you see them combing, they've got a comb on their fourth leg, and you see them combing out silk very fast. I often think of it as hair that has been teased up, and the silk looks something like that.
Holding the tightly woven net in its four front legs, the ogre-faced spider silently sets up a vigil for whatever flies by or passes below. Equally fascinating, every bit as silent and deadly, is the assassin bug.
Watching the assassin bug move is like watching a Shaolin kung fu master walking across rice paper. Gentle, silent, careful. Not a single mark, not even the most minute noise. No wonder it's called the assassin bug.
Its weapon of choice is part long, sucking mouth, part syringe for injecting venom.
The assassin bug stabs its prey using this long beak-like structure called a rostrum. But with the rostrum, it has additional microstructure. It's called stylids. And what they do is they open up small tears inside the prey, which facilitates the venom flowing in.
The assassin bug feeds on any insect it can catch. It's even been known to skewer bats and humans. But it doesn't rely just on its rostrum. It has antennae as long as its body, which gather intel on the grasshopper it's silently stalking. It also plays smart. It imitates a wafting breeze.
The assassin bug is being very clever here. As it gets quite close to the prey, it makes its footsteps bouncy and irregular, creating the kind of normal environmental background noise produced by a breeze.
And then, with its prey within reach, it does something very odd for a master stalker. It reaches out with an antenna.
Assassin bugs have a peculiar habit of using their antenna to gently tap their prey a few times before stabbing them. It's a poorly understood phenomenon. We don't know if it's to confuse the prey or even somehow to hypnotize them, but this is what they do.
Whatever the reason, it works. The prey doesn't suspect a thing. Then it struck. The assassin bug's rostrum spears the grasshopper's back. Deadly venom floods its body.
The paralyzing action of the venom takes effect in 3 to 5 seconds. At this point in time, the limbs are unable to move. After about 15 seconds, it is completely paralyzed, even though it's still alive. Prey is sitting there immobilized. Other chemicals that the assassin bug is pumped in is now digesting it even while it's alive. By the time the assassin bug is done, 40 to 60% will have been sucked out as a liquid lunch.
As darkness descends, a deadly net and a venomous spear will soon become the weapons of choice in a forest as black and as ominous as the grave. Two Bug World gladiators are about to do battle. One armed with a spear that pierces flesh with ease, and the other with a fast-release net that can finish a fight before it begins. As the spider hovers, the assassin bug closes in, moving ever so slowly from leaf to branch. The two deadly foes converge in the darkness. The assassin bug needs to get past the net to strike a blow. It tugs on the web, but a foot gets caught. In one swift movement, the ogre face flings down the net and scoops its victim into a treacherous tangle of silk.
What it will do is it will grab it up, wrap it up with more and more silk, so there's no chance that the assassin bug is able to get its piercing mouth parts out. There's nothing that the assassin bug can do that's going to hurt the ogre-faced spider.
The ogre wraps quickly while keeping her distance. The assassin bug stretches its legs to break free of the death shroud. It's too late. With the deadly rostrum safely encased in silk, the ogre face moves in for the kill. The would-be assassin takes a hit of paralyzing venom. Death is seconds away. But the ogre-faced spider ignores the formalities. It's already feeding on the body fluids of the vanquished. In the world of carnivorous bugs, murder is a way of life. If you want your meat fresh, you're forced to kill. But some bugs take hunting to new levels. What happens when a bulldog raspy cricket and a whistling tarantula come to blows? There are no holds barred. If you're an insect, you enter the grassy bushland of the bulldog raspy cricket at your peril. It's the stormtrooper of the bug world. Compared to the raspy cricket, other crickets are pushovers. These guys are just nasty.
Bulldog raspy crickets are very fierce fighters. They launch themselves at the prey with the aim of just cutting it to pieces.
The raspy cricket is built to kill. Two massive compound eyes, heavily armored thorax, front legs bristling with deadly spines, and mandibles that cut through prey like a chainsaw.
The raspy cricket's mandibles are just plain deadly. It can tear apart pretty much anything. Snip, off comes a leg. Snip, off comes the head.
Raspy crickets are also super mobile. They'll go anywhere, anytime.
Raspy crickets are very tough to escape from. Not only are they great jumpers, but they're great climbers, they're fast on their feet, and they can fly.
And they never back down. Once you're in a raspy cricket's sights, it's locked on to kill.
The antennae are very long. They use them both to pick up the scent of the prey, but also physically to tell them what's nearby. And the second one makes contact, this cricket launches and starts biting and tearing it apart.
The cricket's massive sickle-shaped mandibles chomp through its victim. Every body part is on the menu. Abdomen, leg, wings. The bulldog raspy cricket is the consummate killer. But it doesn't have the killing fields to itself. Nearby, there's a menacing murderess. A tarantula. Not someone you choose for your babysitter.
Known as whistling tarantulas. This is caused when they rub their mouth parts, causing kind of a rattly, hissy sound, which makes them seem more frightening.
The terrifying death rattle is backed up by two monstrous fangs.
Tarantulas have fangs that strike downward. These fangs are really quite large, as much as 1/3 of an inch long, which is on the order of a number of different snakes. And so this is enough to do real damage.
She's highly attuned to passing prey. She doesn't hear them coming. She doesn't have ears. What she does have is hundreds of sensory hairs that pick up vibrations in the air. And the whistling tarantula has another early warning system. She lays a thick bandage-like alarm bell with two huge spinnerets that act like web-weaving fingers, creating an elaborate first line of defense.
She waits at the entrance of the burrow. And one of the advantages of silk coming out from the burrow is that it helps provide sensory information or vibratory information as prey walks by and touches the silk.
This regular cricket was easy meat. But what happens when the whistling tarantula faces a much nastier bulldog raspy cricket?
A fight between these two could go either way. I think the raspy cricket will try to use brute force to overpower the tarantula and get in a damaging bite before the tarantula can sink its fangs in and deliver the venom.
Some in the bug world don't kill to live. They live to kill. They don't just attack, they annihilate. The whistling tarantula is a murderess. Armed armed to the teeth with dagger-like fangs that spear through her prey like a knife through butter.
It's got big fangs, it's got big legs, it's got hairs so that it's able to climb essentially anywhere, and it's a big, aggressive spider.
Her mortal foe, a nasty neighbor. The bulldog raspy cricket is also packing serious heat. Spiked legs, deadly jaws, and a bad attitude. It often holds true in the bug world that attack is the best form of defense. So while the raspy cricket chows down on its latest kill, the murderess launches a surprise attack. The cricket lashes out with its spiked legs. The tarantula retreats, with good reason. She's missing a leg. She heads for home to lick her wounds and mend her web.
She'll go into the burrow and then cover up the entrance of the burrow and seal it up. So essentially predators aren't able to get in while she's in the burrow and while she's relatively incapacitated.
But the bulldog raspy cricket has developed a taste for spider drumsticks. It's stalked its injured victim to her home. But she's down, not out. A massive body kick sends the killer cricket reeling. But the cricket is nobody's football. Each combatant has scored a blow. Now it's really on. One of them is going to die.
If that raspy cricket gets its strong jaws onto the soft-bodied tarantula, the tarantula is absolutely done for. So it's really a battle of timing and speed here.
The stormtrooper is back, madder than ever. It flushes the tarantula from her burrow. She makes a break for it. But the raspy cricket's mandibles shear through the tarantula like colossal bolt cutters.
Once they start biting the prey, they sit cross-legged with their arms locked together, forming a spiked cage that the prey has little chance of escaping from.
The murderess has met her match. She's not just eaten. She's torn apart. Few creatures leave such a bloody battleground. The monster bug world is full of natural athletes. Some are gymnasts, others base jumpers. Then there are kickboxers and trapeze artists. But the gold medal winners are those who execute the snatch and bite. When a house centipede and a swift tree mantid meet to compete, the loser will become the winner's trophy. This is a house centipede. A lean, mean killer with just 3 speeds. Stopped, fast, and faster. With 30 legs to propel itself. It's the bug equivalent of an Olympic track and field team rolled into one.
The front legs are relatively short, the hind legs are relatively long, so the legs don't trip over one another as they're running this fast.
When the house centipede feels the need for speed, it covers up to 16.5 inches of ground every second. That's like a human sprinting at 42 miles per hour. It's a unique design where even a couple of spare limbs are put to good use.
The centipede has venom claws. These are evolutionarily modified front legs that are sickle-shaped organs that are extremely flexible and are able to inject venom into the prey, plus help tear it apart.
But deadly venom and lethal speed are useless unless you can see where you're going.
These centipedes have huge compound eyes. It's clear that they're using vision to track their prey, and this might be related to the speed at which they're chasing.
This cockroach would do well to run for its life. But you can't outrun a gold medal sprinter.
House centipedes are incredibly voracious predators. They literally run down their prey.
But the house centipede isn't the only speedy, sharp-eyed predator patrolling the rainforest arena. It's also the domain of the swift tree mantid. An accomplished all-rounder at blood sports.
These are a pretty small mantid, only about an inch in length, but they're just as capable as a larger mantid and can punch well above their weight.
Its opponents are hit with a deadly combination. Powerhouse limbs, mean mouth parts, deadly spikes.
The swift tree mantid is like the leopard of the bug world. It's really well camouflaged, it's fast, and it tears its prey apart with savage bites.
Thanks to its huge compound eyes, it also has superb vision.
The swift tree mantid has enormous eyes and incredible visual acuity. That's particularly important where both predator and prey are relying on camouflage. If it can pick a prey just standing out a little bit, or a tiny shadow where there shouldn't be a shadow, or a little flicker of movement, that can be enough to give the game away.
The mantid is no slouch at concealing itself either. It's a medal winner when it comes to hide and seek.
Evolution has resulted in the swift trees having perfect camouflage. Imagine it's like a special forces soldier having a camo suit that allows him to match perfectly the bark that they're on. So just by standing still, they disappear.
And if their camouflage ever lets them down, they're super fast out of the starting blocks. With all the confidence in the world, they leave just about any predator in their wake.
The swift tree mantid is extremely alert and bold. These guys are quite confident to just brazenly stroll around the smooth bark that doesn't offer any nooks or crannies to hide in. That's because they know they can outrun pretty much any predator that comes by.
When the swift tree mantid and the house centipede compete for gold, this is winner takes all. Deep in the rainforest arena, two cold-blooded killers are about to slug it out for the gold medal in combined blood sports. The swift tree mantid might be small, but it's not intimidated.
The swift tree mantid is extremely alert and bold. It's seemingly unafraid of aggressors, even ones much larger than itself. When confronted, it'll stand its ground, pull some intimidating-looking poses, give a wicked stare.
Is the mantid bold or just plain foolish? Its opponent, the house centipede, isn't backing down either. The mantis strikes first. It catches the centipede off guard. But the bigger centipede counters and stabs the mantid with its venom claws. Then starts ripping its victim apart while it's still alive. The mantid's insides get sucked up like a sports drink. In the bug world, there's only room for one on the winner's podium. There are no silver medals. When bugs go to war, there are no rules, no sense of fair play, and no concept of picking on someone your own size. When a marbled scorpion takes on a trap-jaw ant, size will matter. But will bigger be better? This ancient rainforest is home to one of the bug world's most durable survivors, the marbled scorpion. Its weapons might be primitive, but they've been tested by time. Scorpions have chased down their prey for more than 300 million years.
They're really evolutionary survivors in that they are effective predators that know how to get the job done.
The scorpion's tools of the trade are an ostentatious display of murderous intent. Anything but concealed weapons.
Scorpions have two main weapons. They have their pinchers, where they're able to grab prey, hold it, and tear it apart. In addition, they have the tail with a venomous stinger at the end. So they're able to grab prey, crush it, and sting.
Scorpion venom can kill in an instant. But its eyesight is weak. Instead, the scorpion locates its prey with sensory organs that work like high-tech antennae.
They've got something that are known as pectines behind their fourth pair of legs on their belly. They act like radar, so they're very sensitive to chemical information, to vibratory information on the ground below them.
The marbled scorpion is also very wily. This cockroach had no idea it was about to become lunch. Grabbed and stung, it's carried away to be ripped apart and devoured. Like spiders, scorpions prefer their food runny, draining the liquefied flesh of this cockroach. is like sipping a meat martini. When a marbled scorpion goes hunting in the rainforest, most small creatures give it a wide berth. But not all are so easily intimidated. Much smaller in stature and just as determined is the trapjaw ant. And like the scorpion, it comes armed with two fearsome weapons. One at the front, one at the back.
The trapjaw's sting is very potent, and because they can use it over and over again, they can come in for a first strike, back off, and then just wait for the venom to start to take effect, and then come in for another series of stings to finish the prey off.
But the front end is also loaded with a hard-hitting weapon.
The trapjaw mandibles open a full 180 degrees, much like a crossbow, and then it's set, all that force waiting. The minute something touches one of the delicate sensory hairs on the inside, snap shut with incredible force.
The peak force is equal to 300 times the ant's body weight, and the speed is astonishing. 2,300 times faster than the blink of a human eye.
The force is so strong, it can actually pop the prey open, sort of like a melon being crushed to expose the soft inside. What a way to go.
But those jaws don't come alone. They arrive en masse.
Trapjaws are very effective at defending themselves on one-on-one fights. However, because they're a social creature that lives together in large colonies, they can work together to defend the individual or the entire nest.
Trapjaw ants aren't afraid of a battle. Neither is the marbled scorpion. And it won't be long before their combat skills are put to the test. As darkness creeps over the rainforest, the marbled scorpion goes looking for food. Also out scouting for a meal, a trapjaw ant. Both the trapjaw ant and the marbled scorpion have a sting at the rear and some serious scissors up front.
When the trapjaw mandibles snap shut, that popping noise we hear is actually a shock wave that's so strong, it's like an air gun going off, and it can actually stun the prey.
But getting close enough to a scorpion for that is dangerous. Its long arms knock aggressors down like bowling pins. And there are those pincers to confront. Long and strong, they're a deadly weapon, especially when the scorpion's foes are small.
Although the marbled scorpions don't have particularly large palps, they are really suited for grabbing ants. They're able to grab little things quite effectively and crush it.
The ant forages, unaware of the scorpion camouflaged on a rock. Eventually, it sees it. And the ant has only one response: attack. The scorpion leads with its left, but can't score a hit. The ant counters with sharp jabs from its jaws, like a stun gun. Each blow sends shock waves through the scorpion's body. It's hurting badly.
While the scorpion has weapons on both ends, so does the trapjaw. But what it really wants to avoid is that scorpion stinger. So its best strategy is going to be get in a quick first sting, back off, wait, and then once the venom kicks in, come back for a series of killer blows.
The strategy is working. The scorpion is down, but not out. The lone ant calls for reinforcements.
These ants, they're constantly in communication with each other through touch, body movement, the use of chemical signals.
The call to arms is fast and effective. Troops arrive in force.
This doesn't look good. Scorpion should get out of there as quick as possible.
The scorpion is totally outnumbered. Stingers plunge into its body, all over its limbs. Multiple stings send deadly venom coursing throughout the hapless scorpion's body cavity. Totally paralyzed, those once fearsome claws are useless. The marble scorpion is destined for a marble mausoleum.
A scorpion known for its venom is being taken down by an ant that isn't known for its sting, but is absolutely known for its jaws.
It's the ultimate indignity. A rainforest supremo is dragged from its rocky pedestal to be cut apart and fed to ant larvae. In the world of bugs, it's a jungle out there. And there's only one law in this jungle. It's eat or be eaten. When two bizarre spiders go into battle, it'll be a bug fight with a difference. One jumps, the other spits. For all its benign natural beauty, the rainforest harbors some truly odd creatures. The metallic green jumping spider looks like an eight-legged disco dancer. But it's an agile, spring-loaded killer.
Jumping spiders typically make the largest leaps to get from one location to another. When they're getting ready to attack, they'll use much smaller leaps so they can aim with absolute precision and get the bite in that perfect spot.
The jumping spider might be tiny, from end to end, no more than a thumbnail. What it lacks in size, it makes up for with sheer athletic ability. And it's got something else: brains.
Jumping spiders display a level of awareness that is remarkable, far beyond most other spiders or bugs. They're intelligent and inquisitive, but most remarkably, they can adapt their hunting as the situation changes.
It has all the animal cunning of a jungle cat.
Jumping spiders are sometimes referred to as eight-legged cats, mostly because of their very large eyes, but they're also very feline in their predatory behavior. They'll stalk their prey, they'll circle it, they'll leap onto it and then bring it down with their fangs.
In the human world, stalking is a crime. In a bug's world, it's a skill that puts food on the table. But the jumping spider isn't the only clever predator in this jungle. There's a serious rival, the only creature on planet Earth that spits deadly silk from its fangs.
The spitting spiders are generally pretty small, shy spiders. They've got 6 eyes, which is relatively unusual. And they've got an absolutely unique weapon, and that's the ability to spit silk. They rear up, they start vibrating their fangs, and then ejecting silk out of their fangs. It's really sticky. It contracts and effectively just pins an insect or another spider down to the ground.
Most spiders have silk glands in their abdomens, but the spitting spider comes with reinforcements. 2 extra glands in its oversized head.
The spitting spiders have modified their venom gland. The front of the venom gland produces venom the same way in other spiders, but the back end is modified so that it's producing a combination of glue and silk.
The deadly concoction is about to be unleashed on this unsuspecting cockroach. So fast, the human eye can barely see it. The sticky silk shoots out and pins the cockroach to the bark.
It'll come in and sting the prey very rapidly and then back off and wait until the venom actually works on the roach.
A cockroach isn't much of a foe. For a spitting spider, it's just food. But it's a different matter when the food can fight back.
While the jumping spider might look like it's missed its calling as a disco dancer, this is not a wimp. If it can get into a position to attack the spitting spider, it will.
The spitting spider, it depends on if the jumping spider is in the right range and it's able to respond rapidly enough and pin that jumping spider down.
In a bug-world jungle, 2 pocket-sized predators are on the prowl. One, an expert stalker, able to launch itself at an enemy like a jungle cat. The other, armed with an assault weapon straight from science fiction. Fangs that spit deadly silk with pinpoint accuracy.
The spitting spider is able to shoot gluey spit out of its fangs at incredible speeds that rapidly pins down its prey.
It's just a matter of time before the predators cross paths and cross swords. Like a leopard, the jumping spider has stalked its victim, silently, relentlessly. It leaps at the spitting spider, but it's off the mark.
The jumping spider has made a mistake here. It has lost that advantage of surprise. The spitting spider has all of the advantage.
The spitting spider takes a shot. It goes wide, but some of the sticky silk clips the jumping spider's leg. And the spitting spider fires off another round. Only in slow motion can the airborne mass of sticky silk be seen. As the jumping spider is glued flat in the fork of a branch, the spitting spider comes in to administer the kill shot.
This just shows how important it is to get it right the first time. If you don't, there's a really good chance you won't be around to fight another day.
The jumping spider will never jump again, as its insides are sucked out. All that remains is the solitary reminder to look before you leap. On the bug battlefield, there are no soft options. Camouflage is no defense against brute force. Fearsome looks don't faze seasoned killers. Awesome weaponry is worthless when you can't land a strike. And a lone fighter has no answer for an overwhelming force. On the monster bug battlefield, the only decider is death. In a bug's world, life is always in the balance. There are so many ways to die. Around every corner, super-strength assassins.
They are just incredibly fast with enormous force.
Bizarre weapons.
They have absolutely insatiable appetite.
And ruthless personalities.
They are incredibly effective predators.
Every day, these battles are waged hidden from human eyes. In the secret world of monster bug wars. The rainforest, rich, beautiful, frightening. Monsters live here, hiding in the darkest, dankest corners. They're the stuff of nightmares. When a giant rainforest mantis confronts a spiny leaf insect, it's a monster battle. It's one of the rainforest's most bizarre citizens. A creature so strange, it could be from another world. In the bug world, spiny leaf insects are giants, growing up to 5 inches long. They're not only big, they're ugly.
Spiny leaf insect wants to avoid a fight. Its first defense is the fact that it looks like a leaf. If a predator does get past the camouflage and detect a spiny leaf insect, it'll then rely on its behavior to try to scare off a predator by making itself look big and mean and horrible, like some sort of alien predator from another planet.
Nature often saves scariness for the vegetarians. You see, they need to deter their predators rather than fight them. Although it looks like some kind of battle bot, the creature isn't naturally aggressive. Its heavy armor and razor spikes are for defense. An almost impenetrable shield. And if a predator does try to take a bite, it'll get a mouthful of those spikes. The spiny leaf insect also keeps a secret weapon.
If threatened, the spiny leaf insect will resort to chemical warfare. It has glands that'll squirt out this colorless but extremely stinky liquid that'll deter most predators.
A stinking, ugly, spiky giant should be left alone. But in the rainforest, there's one creature who's not so easily deterred. It's an evolutionary success story. The Giant Rainforest Mantis. A strong-arm assassin and stealthy ninja rolled into one.
Mantids need to eat all the time, so they're very hungry. They're looking for prey all the time. They're on duty all day long. Turns out that they're one of the top rainforest predators.
It's the T-Rex of the bug world. With a powerful stance and lethal forearms. Spikes and lightning-fast grappling hooks ensure nothing escapes.
The strike can happen anywhere from 30 to 50 thousandths of a second. So this is like 1/20th of a blink of an eye. Mantids engage in aggressive mimicry. And what this means is they camouflage themselves so their prey doesn't see them. Matching in with the vegetation, in this case our giant rainforest mantid, is a nice green. It blends in. Prey items that are walking by, they just don't see the mantid until it's simply too late.
This hapless grasshopper never stood a chance. There's one more thing about the giant rainforest mantis. It eats its victims alive.
They're pretty good at orienting their bites toward the head of whatever they've captured, and essentially once you've taken the head off of anything, it stops struggling much more rapidly.
The best defense against the mantis is to avoid it at all costs. But that's not always easy. This spiny leaf insect is out looking for a leafy meal. Unaware, it's venturing into giant rainforest mantis territory.
The spiny leaf insect is a browser. It's a vegetarian. Think of it basically as the cow of the insect world. Just spends most of the day hanging out in the tree, chewing on the leaves, minding its own business.
The leaf insect has attracted the attention of the mantis. And when these two giants of the rainforest come face to face, neither backs down. The mantis is the natural aggressor. It's sizing up the monster before it.
No predator wants to be injured by its prey. If it's going to attack, it needs to make a trade-off, basically. If it attacks something, is it going to successfully kill it and not get injured itself?
Beneath the lush rainforest canopy, two giants of the bug world are about to go head-to-head.
In order to avoid a fight, the spiny leaf insect will actually use its bizarre appearance to try to look like this threatening, horrible alien monster.
No predator wants to be injured by its prey. So in this case, you've got a really big rainforest mantid, but at the same time, the spiny leaf insect is really quite a large insect.
The giant rainforest mantis has weighed the options. It's only a matter of choosing the moment to strike. We will win. But with faith in its heavy armor, the spiny leaf insect pushes gamely forward. The mantis's powerful jaws start slicing through its victim. The heavy armor is holding. The spiny leaf insect deploys its chemical weaponry.
In a fight, a spiny leaf insect is going to rely on its armor to hold out long enough for it to get away. But it's not very fast. It will, however, keep spraying the chemicals, but unless a predator gets a perfect shot and gets deterred by that, it's only a matter of time until it's dinner.
The spiny leaf insect has to break free soon, before it's devoured. Breaching the armor, the more the mantis eats, the less its victim can fight. It's a race through the first course. Mantis mouthparts work overtime as cutlery. Mandibles slice and dice, while feelers fork it in. Another life ends in the rainforest. What the mantis can't eat, others will. The giant mantis is happy to share now. It's full. And there's a mess to clean up. In the miniature world of monster bugs, lifespans can last just weeks, perhaps days, even hours. Death lies around every corner, and strength is no protection. What happens when a powerful bull ant comes face to face with a redback spider? Only one will live another day. In the ant world, life is all about the colony. Ants work as a team, all for one and one for all. But for this species, going solo is allowed. It's even encouraged. This is the bull ant. Growing up to 1 inch long, it's one of the world's largest. Big enough to fend for itself. Its huge jaws are fearsome enough. They lock like a vice, inescapable. But it's the other end you really need to worry about. This lethal stinger delivers venom in multiple doses.
The bull ant sting is one of the most painful things in the world. And unlike a bee, they can sting over and over and over again.
Although it's a tough guy, this worker is tempting fate today, out on its own, a long way from home. It's on a mission to bring home food for the colony's larvae. Everyone's depending on it.
Bull ants are free-roaming wanderers who hunt alone, and they don't actually eat what they catch. Instead, they take it back to the nest for the larvae, who have an absolutely insatiable appetite.
To the bull ant, the world is a chaotic landscape of sights and smells. So it needs hyperactive antennae and bulging eyes. But the bull ant has something else. Twin claws on every foot give it the powers of an action hero with attitude.
The bull ant is the pit bull of the insect world. He's aggressive, fearless, and will take on any opponent, even those much larger than himself.
And bull ants will take their captives, dead or alive. Their sensors are always on high alert.
A bull ant has an incredible capacity for detecting scent and smell. It can tell it not just who's around, but what it's doing.
This spider is a casualty of another skirmish. But the bull ant makes sure, with a kill shot from its lethal stinger. It's not fussy. This spider is food.
Bull ants are amazing predators. They're voracious and incredibly efficient. They devour all in their path.
The tasty meal of spider is dragged back to the colony. And if obstacles are insurmountable, those trapped jaws are powerful enough to sever limbs and take spider drumsticks back, one at a time. To the uninitiated, the bull ant can be mistaken as vain. It looks like it's constantly grooming, but it's actually cleaning its sensors for battle.
Ants need to groom in order to clean their sensors, such as their antennas. Much as when we're driving our car, we need to clean our windshield if we want to be able to see.
It has to be on guard every moment it's away from the colony. There's no backup if it runs into trouble. And this is trouble. The deadly redback spider. From the black widow family, she's renowned for her super toxic venom and lightning speed. But the redback has something else for the unwary. A super-engineered web.
There's usually a number of components. It often has an upper area where the spider is hanging in the middle, and then, most importantly, it has a number of lines going down that are just covered with globs of glue, so that if something walks into these lines, they tend to break the lines. It causes a vibration going up, plus they get stuck in the glue. And as they struggle trying to get loose from this, then at that point, the spider comes down and nabs the prey.
She specializes in tailor-made straitjackets. With lightning speed, she spins a suffocating silk suit that's only worn once.
The way the redback gets the silk out of the spinnerets is on the fourth leg, it has a comb, and it combs the silk out of its spinnerets. Spider silk is considered to be stronger than steel. It's considered to be the strongest biopolymer known.
Few creatures leave a redback's web, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But can a smaller foe get the upper hand? This contest pits two agile killers head-to-head. Jaws and Venom versus Death Trap.
The bite of a bull ant's not going to really do that much. What it needs to do is get a sting in and get that deadly venom inside that spider.
Here you've got a situation where you've got two predators that are about the same size, each of which has multiple lines of defense, and so it honestly could go either way.
This bull ant still hasn't found dinner for its colony. It forages deeper into a log, unaware of the deadly trap ahead.
Although the redback is venomous, actually her most important weapon is her web, and her web is like Kevlar dripping with superglue.
One false step is enough. The redback races to weave a deadly suit. But she has to be quick. If those jaws get her, or that stinger, the tables will turn.
All the bull ant needs is one single sting, and the redback spider is dead.
The bull ant's jaws are trapped. A sting shot is its only hope. But its captor is weaving at lightning speed. Every second makes it harder and harder to move. But as it's hoisted up, the ant breaks free and tries to bite.
The bull ant has these incredible, powerful mandibles that can give a really nasty bite. It's like you have a vise that's combined with a saw.
The spider needs a better suit. Fast. Again, her wraps subdue the ant. Only now can the redback get close enough to inject its venom. The deadly brew flows through two tiny fangs.
The venom is going to attack the nerves of the bull ant, killing it almost immediately.
All the spider needs to do is wait as her victim dies in a silk shroud. Far from the safety of its colony, a bull ant pays the price for going solo. No one heard it scream.
I don't think a redback that had fallen out of her web or was out of her web wandering on the ground had any chance against a bull ant. But a redback that's in her web, she has total control of the situation.
In nature's tiny world, an ant's life means something. For this skillful redback, it's a fresh meal before she's ready to kill again. The world is crawling with bugs. Half of all known species on our planet are insects. Some crawl on land, others lurk beneath it. Some climb, others live in the sky. There is no escaping bugs. Even the water is not safe. What happens when a water strider takes a swim with a water spider? It's time to run, but there's nowhere to hide. Some call him the Jesus bug, because he too can walk on water, although he prefers to jump at lightning speed.
If something tries to catch him, his best defense is to just skate across the water, but he can also use the water like a trampoline and jump up in the air. They can travel 100 body lengths in a single second.
It's like a 6-foot-tall human taking off at 400 miles per hour. More incredible still, the water strider never gets wet. Along each leg, thousands of tiny hairs trap air bubbles, and this makes a waterproof coat. Also helping to keep the water walker dry is surface tension on a pond. Its long legs spread its weight without breaking the surface.
They distribute their very light weight in such a way that they don't break the surface tension of the water. This allows them to use the water as basically a big piece of bendy rubber.
Buoyed by this skin of water, the strider wields a lethal weapon. It's a giant proboscis that spears and kills its prey. It also doubles as a drinking straw for insect innards.
Like a hypodermic needle on legs. His bite is mean.
A small creature that can't handle the water soon becomes Bug Slurpee.
Water striders feed on the water surface. They're basically an undertaker who make the sick and dying die.
The water strider turns any pond into a battleground. But it doesn't have the field to itself. The water spider is just as comfortable on a pond as it is on land.
Water spiders are able to travel across water much more effectively than most other spiders or many other invertebrates. If they were a car, they're moving on the order of 300 miles an hour. I mean, they're just incredibly fast spiders.
Though this female is bigger than the strider, she still doesn't sink or get wet. She also relies on tiny hairs to make an air suit. Even more astonishing, she has tiny claws at the tip of each leg, giving her incredible grip on the water surface.
If they really want to take off and run after something or run away, they're able to literally gallop on the water. They raise their legs up and are literally running across the water in a gallop. And they have relatively waxy feet and they have long legs, and so they're able to make use of a small dimple of surface tension on the water and walk on the water. They hold their front legs and their back legs out, holding onto the water, and then they use their middle two legs to stride, and the little dimple of water acts like an oar. So literally, they're moving along like this in the water.
And when a potential reel, like this fly, hits the water, it telegraphs ripples straight to the spider's sensors.
By putting their feet at the water's edge, they're responding very closely to vibrations coming from the water. They're exquisitely sensitive to those vibrations.
There are worse ways to go than drowning. You can be killed and eaten inside out. In a face-off between these two floating attack machines, it all comes down to who moves first. The spider is strong and fast, but the strider is even faster.
The lineup is against water striders, which are fast, zippy on the water's edge.
Water striders cannot compete with water spiders on strength. They need to be able to detect the danger and get away.
It'll be a case of the quick or the dead. These water striders are drifting around the pond with the wind. At the water's edge, the spider dangles her sensitive feet, picking up the slightest movement. The striders, too, are feeling for vibrations, but they're unaware of the spider hidden against the rock.
They tend to be very nicely camouflaged. Often they have coloring that up against rock faces, you just don't see them.
Unaware, two striders have drifted into easy range. One uses its lightning speed to escape. The other is not so lucky. Deadly venom shoots into the strider. It will never know what happened.
The fangs are used to squish the prey up to some extent. It is simultaneously regurgitating digestive enzymes. So what they're basically doing is they're dissolving the prey, turning it into a protein milkshake, and then sucking it down.
The strider is turned to liquid.
The water strider was in the wrong place at the wrong time to mess with a water spider.
In bug water world, no one gets wet, but you can become a drink. There's no place like home sweet home, unless you're a bug. Keeping a single address is sometimes impossible when your neighbors are nasty, and you may have to fight to keep your home. Who gets the spoils when a white-tailed spider tries to evict a black house spider? One thing's for sure, no one will leave without a fight. Like us, some bugs invest a lot of work in their home. This black house spider has found just the right hole in just the right tree. Then added improvements. A vast web around the entrance, superglued to the surrounding bark.
Anywhere that they're able to find good supports for their webs provides them with some retreat area. This is where they build. And so building in trees, building next to houses, it all works.
Its seclusion is no accident. The black house spider is a master of ambush. Dinner is always home delivered. Victims, like this unsuspecting cockroach, have no idea they're even on the menu. The web looks ramshackle and ineffective. Quite the contrary. It's like an elastic minefield.
It's silk that can stretch 400 times its length. It's really, really stretchy silk, and there's a lot of it. If you've got a small insect that has hooks, it has little spines on its legs, it really gets entangled very easily in the silk, and as it's trying to push itself away, it gets more and more entangled in the silk.
The lightest touch on the silk transmits straight to home base.
Black house spiders really are completely attuned to vibrations. They're not using vision to find their prey or to avoid predators. It really is this acute sensitivity to vibrations in their web.
Few creatures see this ambush coming. A venomous bite seals the deal. But the spider doesn't stay on the street for long. It always eats in. Not all spiders are homebodies. Some are drifters, like this white-tailed spider. She's not tied down with webs and maintenance. She's a roaming assassin who prefers to eat out.
The white-tailed spider is not fussy. It'll eat pretty much anything that it can encounter, but its favorite meal is the black house spider.
Today, the whitetail is ravenous. She's like a bloodhound, sniffing scent trails from potential victims. But she's not using her nose. She doesn't have one. The tips of her legs are equipped with scopulate hairs. Underneath the hairs are chemical sensors that guide her to her target.
Because the white-tailed spider uses its feet so much, it's absolutely important that it keeps them very, very clean.
And those chemical sensors have just detected a black house spider.
Whitetail doesn't bother too much with the defense. This is an animal that's all about offense. It goes out looking for trouble. It starts the fights, and it finishes them.
The roving assassin is about to become a home invader. And the black house spider won't back down. One thing's for sure, there will be only one survivor. This white-tailed spider is cruising for dinner. She has no web, no family ties, no fixed abode. Further up the tree, this black house spider lives a different lifestyle. It set an elaborate web outside its permanent home. Now it's monitoring for vibrations, hoping whatever's coming will be another meal. But the whitetail has an ingenious plan. It'll use the black house spider's own web to lure it out. The black house is being played like an old fiddle.
Whitetail is a trickster. It'll sit there and pluck on another spider's web, mimicking a prey trapped in there, and then nails it like lightning.
The black house takes the bait. It's expecting an easy meal, but it finds a mortal enemy. The black house throws a decoy, its own leg.
Losing a leg is actually a super strategy for getting away from a predator. This black house spider has sphincters that are able to close off the blood flow so the spider doesn't bleed to death. It's far better off losing a leg than losing its life.
The whitetail is left with just a spider drumstick. Now she retreats to her rival's abandoned house and seals the door to eat in peace.
The white-tailed spider is a wanderer. It doesn't stay very long in any one place. But in this case, now that it has a nice big meal in its stomach, it'll sit there and squat in what used to be the black house spider's home.
But the owner's back and fighting mad. It plans to repossess its house. This time, a body strike stuns the black house. Dropping limbs won't help it now. Venom rushes into its body, killing it. There's one final indignity. The black house spider will be consumed in its own home. In bug realty, you can be evicted and eaten on the same day. In the art of war, bugs are true virtuosos. They have evolved so many ways to kill, they leave humans in the dust. But it's nearly always hand-to-hand combat. And every victory is hard-won. When a wolf spider meets a Sydney funnel web spider, it's a deadly contest between the old and the new. Although there are almost 40,000 species of spider, they come in two main categories, modern or primitive. Like this Sydney funnel web, a dinosaur. It's changed little over millions of years.
In terms of temperament, the Sydney funnel webs are just ill-tempered, cranky spiders.
It's the grumpy old man of the bug world. It's still around today because it's a successful hunter. And the key to its reign are these. of the biggest, most powerful jaws in Spiderland, backed by super venom.
You don't survive for several 100 million years without being effective predators and being good at what you do. So the funnel webs may not have many diverse behaviors, but in fact, what they do very well.
But there are downsides to being Spider version 1.0. It can hardly see from its 8 eyes. Its lumbering frame isn't very fast. And its lungs are underdeveloped, so it's exhausted quickly. It mostly lies in wait, in moist, shady corners of the forest, with a small web funnel at the entrance.
What characterizes these webs is it has a narrow funnel or a narrow retreat that the spider lives in. So it may have a hole in a log that's covered in silk, and then it runs out from this retreat in order to capture prey. They live in burrows. So basically, this is a burrowing species that's found in relatively moist soil under logs. One of the ways that funnel webs are found is that people are digging in their garden and inadvertently open up the burrow of a funnel web and they start wandering around. And you've got to hope that it isn't a male funnel web. Now, what's important to us in this situation is that males are 5 or 6 times more venomous than the females are.
But what happens when this prehistoric monster comes face to face with a modern-day warrior? Will the old still outgun the new? In the world of monster bugs, there are 2 types of spider, modern and primitive. This is Spider version 1.0, the prehistoric Sydney funnel web.
The Sydney funnel web is not only a seriously cranky spider, but they really tend not to back off. They're really an ill-natured spider. Their fangs are oriented parallel to one another, and so they strike down. And the way the funnel web does this is it rears its carapace up and then strikes repeatedly down with enormous force. The force is reputed to be sufficient to kill a mouse, to crush a mouse skull.
This cricket came too close. And the funnel web's caveman table manners make short work of any prey. While it may be showing its age, the funnel web is always ready to take on newcomers. This is Spider version 2.0, evolving much later. The modern wolf spider is faster, stronger, and loaded with stamina.
The wolf spider is so fast on its feet, it can cover 2 feet in a single second. That would be the equivalent of me doing a 100-meter dash in 1 second.
With state-of-the-art eyes, nothing escapes its attention.
The wolf spider has 4 large eyes on the top of its head, but also has 4 smaller eyes coming across in a row in the front. This gives it fantastic night vision and some of the best vision of any spider.
It's like an Olympic athlete that wins gold not just for the 100-yard dash, but for the high jump as well.
The wolf spider is capable of jumping 8 inches, even onto vertical surfaces. This would be the equivalent of me being able to jump 100 feet in the air.
But this is no recreational hunter. The wolf spider is a killing machine, and it kills to eat. It's also a master tactician, using stealth, cunning, and patience while it stalks its prey. The
wolf spider is a prowler, a ground hunter who wanders around in the dark. Once he finds a good ambush spot, he'll sit there and wait. And once he sees a good prey animal, he either jump on it or chase it down.
It lies in wait for a hapless victim, like this cricket.
He is fast and powerful, basically the cheetah of the spider world. He hits his prey so fast and so hard, they literally get bowled over.
Sharp-eyed, fleet-footed, packing powerful venom, the wolf spider is a major upgrade from its primitive cousin. Though it can outstalk and outrun any contemporary, sometimes it has to face off with its prehistoric past in a test of evolution.
The wolf spider's best defense is his ability to outrun or outjump pretty much anyone.
Although wolf spiders are faster, wolf spiders have vision on their side, I don't think wolf spiders are as intrinsically tough and ill-natured as a Sydney funnel web is.
It's a full moon, and the wolf spider is on the prowl. Night vision and advanced weaponry ready to go. Also on the offense, a funnel web, its legs sensing the slightest movement on its trip lines.
The funnel webs will rear up, and you can see venom dripping out of the tips of their fangs. And they will stay in this position for 10, 15 minutes, ready to strike should the potential predator or prey come any closer.
The encounter quickly turns into a standoff as two killers, close enough to touch, weigh their next move.
It's a tricky standoff, like two gunfighters waiting for the other one to flinch. The funnel web spider has bigger fangs, but the wolf spider has the speed.
One thing is for certain, the next move will be fatal. The funnel web strikes first. As the funnel web's massive jaws rip open the wolf spider, venom floods in. Today, old beats new. Ancient history wins the day. Although dinosaurs never made it to our present day, it's a different story in the bug world. Here, living history proves that new isn't always better. In a monster bug war, you're either victor or victim. Camouflage is no defense against a ruthless assault. A lethal stinger is powerless, encased in a silk coffin. Speed is no match for stealth and cunning. And sacrificing a limb is no guarantee of success. When bugs go to war, only the victor lives to fight another day.